We're live. What's going on, guys? I think CB's greenhouse and garden might be. Oh, there we are. Hello.
How come the thing is in the middle of the screen?
Oh, I can move it. It's just so we can read it, so we can read everybody's comments. Hey, what's up, Great Gardener? How you doing, bud? Glad to see you here. Smith Family Ranch. What's going on, guys? CB, we seen you there.
Yeah, that one shows up.
Seen you there earlier. Okay. So I got two monitors going on here so I can see. We got surround vision, surround sound. How's everybody doing tonight? What's everybody having? What kind of cold beverages everybody have tonight? What are you working with, Mama?
Same. Keystone, always.
Keystone.
Almost always.
I'm working on Fat Tire. This stuff is awesome. I was just telling her that, when they first came out, they were really, really good. And they just kind of got big. So the major breweries brought them up. And I think maybe the quality's not quite as good as it used to be. It's still a really, really good beer, though.
Angry Orchard.
Oh, sure. Just ignored me. No, I seen you there. I was waiting for you. Angry Orchard. Yeah, those are pretty good. I like those in the fall, right around the fall season when the apples are coming in. They're pretty decent, but for some reason they tend to give me a pretty mean hangover too.
Angry hangover.
So, yeah, that's right, an angry hangover. Hey, Renee, how are you? Cheers to you as well. Enjoy. We're doing good here, Great Gardener. The pretty lady here had to work today, so I stuck around and actually got to sleep in, which was great. And did some laundry and some dishes, playing Mr. Mom, which is okay. It's good to do once in a while. Keeps me grounded. It's better than being at work. And man, I don't know about you guys, but work lately has been just a nightmare. I didn't tell anybody, but a few months back, I ended up getting a promotion. And it was because the gentleman that I was working with was let go. So I don't really like to get promoted in that fashion, but it just kind of happened that way. So it is what it is. I'm not complaining, but man, ever since, it has been just crazy busy. Been putting in just stupid hours. And, the little extra money's nice because, we are going to be looking to buy a house sometime next year. So, that's cool. But sometimes you just need a break. Thank you. And we were just talking the other day about the winter blues. Man, I think this winter is just kicking my butt this year.
You know what's weird though is it hasn't really been that bad of a winter. I mean, we do live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know.
So we've had our fair share of snow and our fair share of cold. We've had a couple really bad snow weekends. Last 2 weekends.
Hi, Royal Amethyst.
Very bad. 2 weeks to go. The roads started to rain, turned to sleet.
Yeah, and then turned to ice.
And I had to be at work at 7:00, I think, that morning. Oh my God, it was horrible. It was like he drove me to work. I don't like.
Yeah, so I stay up late and just drive her to work and pick her up.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it hasn't been terrible as far as Wisconsin winters go. But yeah, you go weeks without seeing sunshine. It's just gray skies.
Yeah. That vitamin, what is it, D deficiency? That's a real thing.
Yeah, if you miss out on that.
That is a real thing, because I'm definitely getting that experience this last couple of weeks. After the holidays, football's over for us. Packers lost last weekend, devastating.
Yeah.
Okay, what's left for winter?
Yeah,
we don't ski, we don't snowmobile. Let's just go in the spring. We're done.
Great Gardener, thanks for stopping by, kid. We'll see you. Take care. putting out some good videos. Hey, let us know how those dehydrator bananas turned out.
Going to the pool.
Going to the pool. Hey, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
CB says, we've been lucky so far this year. This time 2 years ago this week, we were knee deep in snow. Really? Down there? Wow, I'm surprised to hear that.
Where's that?
CB, where are you guys at? You're in, I want to say in Georgia or maybe the Carolinas. You're somewhere down there. I know that. He's down south. I think zone 7 or 8, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, North Carolina. Okay, that's what I thought. Somewhere down in that area.
Wow, that's a lot of snow for you then.
Yeah,
I guess,
definitely
right?
a lot of snow for that area. So as far as that's concerned, we've been pretty lucky. We haven't had a lot of terrible snow, but it just drags on, the cold and the gray skies and all that stuff. And like I said, you go days without seeing the sunshine. And in the last live, I talked about how I'm happiest in the garden. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're out in the sun. I mean, you're actually getting that contact with the earth and the sun. And you know, they say that the soil itself has, you know, uplifting, mood lifting properties to it. And it's an antidepressant. And just for me, being out in the sun, it has the exact same effect. So I think that's why I like it so much. It's not necessarily just out there growing things, but it's just the fresh air and the sunshine and just kind of being surrounded by the plants and whatnot. It's a huge uplifting thing that we just don't get this time of year. So, and we were just talking this winter is kicking our butts. But you know, the cool thing is it's kind of getting to the point where it's almost, you can't stand it anymore, which tells me that it's almost over. So
less than 2 months until the first day of spring.
That's right. Yeah, so we got a couple of months. Everybody should be getting ready to start seeds right now if you're not seed starting already. So you know, we got that. Unfortunately here I can't really do much of that. So it's kind of a bummer this year as far as that's concerned, but I know it's coming, so I'm okay with it. I can start planting my gardens and start looking for some community garden plots. So that's something I need to work on over the next few weeks. And we'll quite possibly bring you guys along with me. Maybe we'll go out on site, check them out, and also online and just see what the rules and stipulations and how much the rental and all that stuff costs. Because I've never rented a community garden before, so it's going to be a new experience for me, for sure. And I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm kind of not at the same time because, believe it or not, I'm kind of a quiet person. I'm not outgoing at all whatsoever. At least not.
He has like 2 people that he talks to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And we moved away from both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not super outgoing unless I really, really know somebody. I'm just not going to come out and say hi.
No.
So being in the community garden is going to be a little bit awkward for me, probably, but whatever. I'll have to get used to it. But at the same time, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll meet somebody that's like-minded or kind of like me, and maybe somebody bounce some ideas off of. So who knows? I mean, it could be a cool thing. It's called getting on. Yeah, no kidding. You know, another thing I worry about with a community garden is vandalism. And you know, I've got some plants like my yacon, those are my babies. And if something were to happen to those after all the work I put into these plants, I would be so pissed. I mean, I would not be cool with that. So that's one of the things that worries me. And I haven't heard a lot of complaints about that happening. But who knows? I mean, some neighborhood riffraff could come through and just decide to wreck everybody's gardens. I'm not sure if I would be too cool with that, but I guess I don't have much of a choice.
No, you think of people going through and wrecking things, they're not going to go into a community garden. They probably may or may not even pay attention to that. They might just think it's just some little fenced in nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know.
People that want to wreck stuff, cars and
Yeah.
egg houses and
Yeah.
do damage
Well,
to
I
stuff.
was,
So
I mean, I was a kid once and I did some really stupid things. So who knows?
we
Who
all
knows
did.
what anybody's capable of? Oh, geez, what do we got?
10 minutes in.
Slacking on starting seeds. Yeah, yeah. It's, well, I mean, you don't really have to worry about it too much right now. Of course, it depends on what zone you're in, of course.
Hi, Old Reading Farm.
But hey, what's up, Old Reading? But here, at least here in Zone 5 right now, the only seeds we're really starting is like alliums, onions. Otherwise, peppers will be started. I mean, you could start them now, but I usually wait till like this, at least the 1st of February up to the end of February, really, depending on the pepper. But usually get those started really early. That seems to help a lot in production. But as far as anything else, yeah, I wouldn't be starting any seeds right now. That's right, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, CB. Oh, you heard zone 8. Okay, so yeah, I suppose this would probably be a good time to start getting things started. I was watching the Naked Gardener a couple weeks ago, and they're actually starting a lot of peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that, and they're in, I believe, northern Texas. So, yeah, down in that area, I guess this would be a good time to get going on it. What's up, 13 Moons? Cheers. How are you? Oh man, that's a good beer. So, hopefully winter is going to come to an end soon because it's really giving me the blahs really bad, and I just can't wait to get back outside and at least get some sunshine. Jeez, I'm getting pale, like super pale, and just not feeling tip top right now. So, but it's coming. It's coming. You know what? I've got an LED grow light. Hey, what's going on, Josh? I'm working on the fat tire.
Having
tonight.
a mocha.
This is an outstanding beer. Having a mocha. All right, there you go.
That actually sounds kind of good.
That does sound good. I'm a late night coffee drinker.
He drinks coffee 24 hours a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
He well, maybe not 24, but probably like 18 hours a day.
I'll drink it up till probably 1 o'clock in the morning. I stay up super late though, so that's my thing. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Doesn't affect him. Coffee's weird. Like, I'll drink 2 cups in the morning. It really doesn't do what I want it to do. Like, it gets me, like, when I first started drinking coffee, got like that buzz that I got this. Now I drink 2 cups of coffee and it really doesn't do anything. But I can't start my day without it. I mean, it definitely does something. I'm not saying that, but I drink a cup of coffee. I can drink half a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night, and it will keep me up until 2 in the morning.
So, no,
so it's like I wish I could get the energy and the pump
in the morning.
Yeah,
when you need it.
When I need it, because I can't have like dessert coffee.
Right.
That will never fly with me. I will never go to sleep. Like a little kid that just can't go to sleep.
I can't. It doesn't bother me at all. How many times do you get up and I make you coffee?
And he drinks coffee with me. He goes to bed.
And then
after he's been drinking coffee all day and all night. I don't know how.
It's kind of weird, but the only time I notice the effects of coffee is when I don't have it.
Yeah. Well, I do notice that. I might complain that it doesn't do anything, but I think it really does because on the rare occasions we've got up and the coffee pot was broke, that's like mayhem.
It's like the end of the world. We're running to the gas station.
Or we run to Walmart right away and just pick up a $20 one because we are not going to go throughout the day without our coffee. Yeah.
CB, I think you and me are a lot alike. We kind of stay grounded, and the women get their drink on. That's the way it normally goes here at the Brew City homestead, because I hardly ever drink. That's why I drink this fancy stuff.
He doesn't.
When I do drink, I pull out the goods. But I think the last time I drank was the last live stream 2 weeks ago. So that's just the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't enjoy it. I mean, it's a good thing, but I tend to get hangovers really bad. Like, I'm kind of weird. I can't drink just one beer. I have to drink at least three and get a nice buzz on. Um, and I know if I could tolerate drinking for that night after the first couple beers, because either I'll feel great or I'll just have a pounding headache, and that just ruins my day. So luckily things are going well tonight, so we're in good shape.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I barely
that's
drink.
Right.
I know it seems really strange, but yeah, I barely drink. Now that's a far cry from what I used to be in my younger days. I think it was more rare to see me sober um, back in my late teens and up to my mid 20s. Yeah, for sure, I was a big party animal for a long time. So maybe I just got it out of my system when I was young. So I don't. I guess I don't need it that much anymore.
I like my beer. I
Well,
drink.
I think
I have beer every day.
you've got
But
it.
it's one kind of beer, maybe two. I don't know. I go back and forth between this and mostly this, but a couple other brands or whatever. But that's my detox.
Well, I
I
think
smoke too, though. Smoke cigarettes. That's not a good thing either. But
yeah,
I mean,
that's the only thing I don't like. It's just cigarettes. Those can go.
but he used to smoke.
Yeah.
But he's been 5.5 years quit.
That's right.
I'll follow in his footsteps eventually.
Yeah, well, the Packers, they did pretty good this year,
Hey!
right up until last
Oh
week.
no, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to talk.
I'm pretty sure Josh's not a big fan of the Packers.
Who's your team? If you tell me the Vikings or the Bears, I'm not gonna be happy.
No, I don't think it's either one.
Where does he live?
In
That's not the Northern Cowboy, is it?
no, Josh is over in Michigan. Yeah,
Michigan.
Southeast Michigan.
Okay, so who's your team? You weren't that far from us. He's not answering. Did he leave? Uh-oh. I
Okay.
scared him off. Hmm.
Maybe they didn't do as well as the Packers did this year, so he's afraid to say. But that's okay.
He's a Patriots fan, isn't he? I bet you are.
Oh, that's terrible. It's terrible. All right, let's not talk football.
Okay.
Actually, I am not a huge football fan. I'm really not. She's probably a bigger Packers fan than I am. So,
Support the team. We live here. Well, I liked the Packers before we moved here.
well, you don't have to. It doesn't matter if you live in Milwaukee. If you don't support the Packers, you get stabbed. So, I mean, you got to have at least one piece of paraphernalia.
It is not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
No, I would say the most aggressive fan base out of any NFL is Oakland.
Oakland.
Raiders?
You really will get stabbed out
That's
there.
what I'm talking about. Packers, they'll talk a little bit of this and that, but nobody's getting stabbed over no teams here. This is cow country, so cheeseheads.
13 Moon says Pacific Northwest is in the house. Yeah,
Pacific Northwest.
you gotta be kind of faithful to your. I guess you don't have to, but it makes things a lot easier.
But I was a fan before we moved here, so this is just like awesome.
Yeah, technically, we should be Bears fans.
Which I never was, strangely enough. Born and raised in Illinois, never did care for the Bears. I had a lot of friends that did not like that. But I wasn't a huge football fan when I was younger. My dad never watched it. None of my family never really watched it.
Yeah, and we never did either.
We do now.
And
A lot more. Well, yeah.
with my size, I had a high school coach that tried to get me to play football. I mean, was just nagging the heck out of me to play football, and I just wouldn't do it because, as I mentioned earlier, I was interested in other things. So I never did play football, and man, that coach was so mad at me, because essentially I was one of the biggest people in my class. So probably would have been an asset to the team if I would have put some effort into it, but it's just not my thing. I've always been kind of an oddball. I've been into things like gardening, and I don't know. I just get wrapped up in weird things that most people are not even remotely interested in. So it's kind of strange that way.
Do you still live in Oakland area, Big Dreams? Or is that just where you originated from? Because now you're a Denver fan.
I think Big Dreams is up in so it's Seattle area, Washington, somewhere around there.
So still not. Yes. Yes. I like the way you think.
Football is one of the only things that makes me normal. Okay, touche. Yeah. Okay, I could appreciate that for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, I gave up on normal a long time ago. I really did. So I'm just a really strange
Seattle. So where? Okay, I lived in California for a while. Probably heard this before, but where in Oakland area did you live, or are you from?
Seahawk territory. Well, we got all kinds of people in here. City Stat, Royal Amethyst, 13 Moons, TNS Dogs and Dragonflies. Welcome
Niners
back.
rule. Okay, well you got your game coming next week, or yeah, in a week, in a day.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So there's still
define this normal word. Yeah, well, you know.
There's still some happy people out there. You know, the Super Bowl always breaks down to the happiest people being their teams are playing, and then the rest of the people out there are hoping for the demise of the team that they don't like. I think that's typically how the Super Bowl works.
I'll go for the the Niners. I lived in California. I'm not against them. It was never my team, but it's all good.
Normal is a setting on your dryer. That is beautiful.
That's
absolutely perfect. Those are words to live by.
Super Bowl, baby. It worked in Newark.
When is the Super Bowl?
It's next Sunday.
No, it's next Sunday.
Not tomorrow, next Sunday.
I was gonna say it's not tomorrow already.
In Newark. Okay, that's Bay Area? Because I don't know where that is.
I have no idea. I went out there. I went out to Cali one time, and that was to pick her up and drive her back to Illinois, where we thought we were going to live happily ever after, and then we realized that Illinois wasn't so great. But that's how things go.
I don't miss it. This is what I tell all my customers at my work. I work at grocery retail. And I'm very proud to tell them that I'm from Illinois. You know, and Illinois and Wisconsin's kind of like a rival state, or rival with each other. So I tell everybody I am very proud of where I come from. I'm even more proud I don't live there anymore.
You know, I wouldn't even put it that way, because people think, you tell people you're from Illinois and automatically they assume you're from Chicago.
Chicago, we're not. No.
But we're from
no.
We're from cornfields. We're
cornfields and cows.
The middle of nowhere, the Illinois River Valley. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So you got the river valley that's all wooded and just a gorgeous place, and then outside of that is all cornfields. So we're pretty much country bumpkins as far as that's concerned.
I truly am a country bumpkin. I grew up on 42 acres of farmland.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up on a farm.
Yeah. Okay, so Newark is a hodunk town south of San Fran. Okay, in the East Bay. So you are...
Yeah, I hear you, 13 Moons.
You are south of like San Leandro, San Lorenzo then, yeah?
I think the move from Podunk, Illinois to here in Milwaukee was really a really good move for us. The opportunities here are so much more. And, Illinois as a state is run pretty poorly. So the taxes and, property taxes and everything taxes are just going insane. And it's just, the state's really getting run down. I had a customer
come in and tell me that, did you hear about this? Illinois raised minimum wage to $12.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear it. But I don't keep up with Illinois anymore because
Well, I know, but
kinda gave up on
$12 for
it.
Illinois.
they've got one of the highest exit rates in the country. Illinois, people are leaving Illinois in droves because it's run so poorly.
That is. It is. I don't miss it at all.
Big
All
drinks.
my dad's side of my family is there though.
When I tell people I'm from Cali, they think I soaked in hot tubs in Hollywood with celebrities. Right?
Ha!
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing. We tell them we're from Illinois, and everybody's like, "Oh, Chicago's great." No, that's not. That's not quite right.
Everybody that I've ever
But you
talked
lived
to.
in the country of California. You lived in the northern, up in the foothills, right?
Yeah, foothills of the Sierras. So I was about I don't know, 60 miles from Sacramento. Maybe not even. Probably more like 45 to 50 miles from Sacramento. But 120 miles from San Francisco. 80 miles from Yosemite. It was really pretty. It was.
It's like
I lived at about
gold mining town.
Yes.
Or something, right?
Yeah, San Andreas is where I lived. There was that was huge gold mining country, and actually one of the main historical events happened in for the gold mining. The gold rush of 1849 happened right there. So all of that huge mining industry that started in California due to the gold boom was right where I lived. Of course, it's tapped out, and it's a fairly poor community now for what it's worth. California is super expensive to live.
I bet you somewhere out there is still some giant veins of gold.
Oh, I'm sure.
That nobody's found yet.
I'm sure. But it is in the foothills of the mountains, so the Sierras go pretty high, and they go all the way up to like Lake Tahoe, across like the heading like northeast of the state up to the state line of Nevada and into Nevada partially. But they have a lot of lakes up there, and it is really pretty. California is a really mild place to live when it comes to winters. Even in the snow areas, it doesn't get terrible. I mean, they do need to plow and stuff.
I wish we had that luxury.
But it's
TNS, you're cracking me up. Yeah, if I happened to look up while I was taking a bath and there was a celebrity there, I might be a little bit freaked out.
Oregon is different though than California, unless you're like way northern state. Way different because you guys have the rain in the summertime. See, where almost the entire state of California gets no rain. So the nice thing about that is that your summer plans will never be wrecked in California due to rain, ever. You can plan a wedding, you can plan a camping trip, you can do a 10-day music festival. You will never get rained out. However, it gets really, really dry, like dangerously dry, forest fire dry. And that's not fun either. It gets so incredibly hot and dry there that miles and miles and miles of forest can, be affected around you.
I always thought
it affects the air quality, and it's just yucky.
I always thought that I wouldn't mind living in California for the gardening aspect of it, but I guess it really depends on where you live.
Oh, you would have to irrigate tremendously.
Yeah. What about the Napa area? Don't they get rain, or do they irrigate everything?
Wine country's irrigated. Because I wasn't that far from Napa Valley, about an hour and a half. Napa Valley's heading, it's like heading towards the Bay Area, like the Northern Bay.
Well, I guess we still got to plan.
Over to the eastern side of the Bay Area would be.
We still got a plan to go down to North Carolina. I think CB said he might give us a little piece of his land that we can pull our trailer up on and start a garden.
In North Carolina? Can we take a vacation? That'd be so much fun.
Sorry, CB.
That would be fun.
That's funny. That would be nice, though. I've been out to North Carolina one time when I was younger, and it was so beautiful. It was like, I think it was January, and we were on the east side of the mountains, and it was gorgeous. It was so nice. We couldn't believe it. Napa catches fire every year. I thought that wine tasted a little smoky, so yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good beer. It really is.
Did you see Dogs and Dragonflies said?
Huh?
It catches on fire.
Yeah, that's what I was
every
just reading.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
That's why I said their wine's a little smoky.
Oh, is that what you meant? I thought you were reading further out. Yeah, no, it's a dangerous place to live out there.
CB says, here in my part of North Carolina, it gets it all. Triple-digit heat, twisters, hurricanes. You know, that's the same thing back in Illinois where we were from. I mean, it was everything. You had to worry about everything. We had, triple-digit heat, triple-digit cold.
Mostly
like
tornadoes. Triple-digit cold. No.
That's what it felt like.
No, let me tell you. So I got a lot of my childhood friends that are now moms and dads, and they're raising their kids where we came from. And used to get on the phone and be like, oh, they canceled school. It's 4 degrees. I'm like, well, it's -30, and I just drove my kids to school.
Yeah.
So no, negative. It's more like negative triple digits here.
Yeah.
When life still continues. In fact, we've lived here for almost 6 years now. It'll be 6 years this spring, June, whatever.
Yeah, 7 for me. Yeah.
No, 14. We moved here in 14. It's now 20.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You're here 6 years now because you moved in January.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that now.
Weather, cold.
Oh yeah, the only time that they ever shut down Wisconsin was last year during that polar vortex, when the actual real temperature was in the -20s, with a maybe in the negative teens.
Yeah.
With
but the wind
with
chill.
a wind chill factor of pushing -40.
Yeah, it was stupid.
That was the coldest days I have ever seen in my life. And I thought, 10 degrees is cold with a 0 wind chill. -2 is cold with a -10 wind chill. You have no idea what cold is like until you see it.
Yeah,
he didn't have to go to work. They closed Wisconsin down. I am not even kidding you. They closed my job down.
They don't close it for anything. So yeah, it was.
I work at a grocery store. They kept our jobs open, but they got to be able to, supply to the community. People still need to eat.
Yeah, and what really sucks about that is like you hear on the news that night or the next day about how they're finding popsicle corpses outside, and it only takes like 15, 20 minutes, and you're gone. I mean, it just freezes out.
It was horrible. We were going out on our break.
What's up, Naked Gardener?
Starting our cars.
How's it going, man?
And letting the cars run for 15 minutes so the cars wouldn't sit out in the cold parking lot.
Oh, and the cars would scream when you started.
Oh, it was horrible. You could see everybody on break because there'd be people driving in circles because everybody wanted to make sure that their batteries were not dead. Warm that sucker up, get it going for a few minutes.
It was crazy.
Pretty miserable.
Crazy.
Pretty miserable.
So, luckily, we haven't had any of that. We got a couple of really cold days, but it hasn't been that bad. Again, so this winter hasn't been too terrible.
Had last week or 2 weeks ago.
So long.
It's like negative. No, it wasn't negative. It was like
4.
0. Yeah, it was like 4 degrees.
So,
but it's cold.
But
4 degrees is not warm.
Hopefully, we'll start getting the days are starting to get longer.
Yes, more sun.
Yeah, which is nice.
I get off work at 5 o'clock. The sun is still out. Well, not the sun, but it's still light enough that I can see kind of. I don't like driving at night, so I'm not a fan of getting off at 5 o'clock during traffic hour in the pitch black. In December, I don't like that.
That's probably the one thing. Even if it still got cold, if it didn't get dark so early in the wintertime, I think I would enjoy winter way more than what I do.
Yeah, definitely.
But the fact that it gets dark by 4:30 and it's pitch black outside, it's crazy. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So
55.
Where's on you? 55 in Oregon. Yeah, but it stays kind of consistent over there, right? So it doesn't get super hot in the summertime, doesn't get real cold in the winter. It's pretty consistent. That actually sounds kind of nice. I could go for a couple of years of that. Yeah, winter, man. Oh, it just eats after a while. Once you get past the holidays, because you stay so busy up through Christmas and all that, you don't really have time to think about it. Then all of a sudden,
everybody likes winter at Christmas because everything is evolved around winter.
Yeah, and you like
snow and ice skating and reindeer in the snow and Santa with a sled, which leads to snow.
Right.
And everything's evolving around revolving around winter.
Right. And then the end of January comes, and then you realize you've got all these credit card bills from Christmas time, and you haven't seen the sun in 4 weeks, and it's dark at 4:30. It's cold as all get out. All of a sudden, it gets a little bit depressing. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to spring. Holy smokes!
90 in summer that's kind of warm.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Is that a dry
okay.
heat though, or a humid heat?
Well, I would imagine it's probably pretty humid out there in that area.
Probably, you're right.
13 Moon says, yeah, most of the year it's raining, and the winters usually only drops to 40 at night. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. In the summer, it's bone dry and usually up. So it's always something, right? I mean, we all got something to deal with.
Yeah.
But
dry heat.
Yeah, the 80s.
So you do have to worry about wildland fires then where you are.
I guess it all depends.
Not a lot of rain where you are then, yeah?
It's good beer, guys.
Yeah. Where I lived in Northern California, it was very, very, very common, high 90s all summer long. That's actually on the cooler side. It was very typical, 105, 108. I started a job as a pizza delivery when I was 21 or 22 years old. My very, very, very first delivery that I had, my AC went out like 2 days before I took the job, or started the job. So I had no AC. Delivering hot pizzas in August. It's 116. It was hot. Too hot. I don't like it that hot. Dry heat is, humid heat is horrible. I'm not even telling you. We would be dead at 116 with humidity. There's just no way a human could sustain the moisture and the concentration that comes along with humidity.
Well, I don't know. I worked in South Florida for 8 years.
116 at 116.
Well, it was in the summertime. It would average between 90 and 100 degrees, and the humidity was always 90+%.
I'm telling you, when it's 88 and humid, it feels like it's 100 degrees outside. I mean, you start to melt literally.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, you'd be just going out to check the mail.
Back is sweaty. Your legs are sweaty. You can't sit anywhere on anything plastic, like it's a lawn chair, or if anybody's got any little setup in their garage or whatever. When it's humid like that, you just stick to everything. It's just miserable. It's just miserable. Dry heat's better.
Big Dreams hates summer.
Summer?
I love summer. I do.
How do you hate summer?
I would so much rather be hot and sweaty than be cold. I mean,
actually, my favorite season is fall.
I hate fall.
That's because it's like the end of summer.
It's because it's the end of summer.
But I love the colors and the smells and the pumpkins and.
I don't know. I mean, the leaves are pretty for like 3 days, and after that they fall, and you got to rake the damn things up, and you won't see them again until next spring. I don't know. To me, fall is really depressing because it just marks the end of summer and the next 4 months, 5 months of just cold gray skies. I do not like fall.
Well, I like summer, but I am a mom, and I have my primary responsibility outside of my job is the house and the kids. So I tell you, when the kids have been out of school for a couple months,
okay, I'll give you that.
I'm ready to ship them off to school in August, and they don't start school here until after Labor Day. So fall is very welcome in my eyes.
You can only take off so many clothes. Yeah, I suppose you're right. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before you get arrested, of course. Yikes. Yeah, you don't want to see me. Never mind. We're not even going to go there. Especially,
okay.
Especially if we got a community garden this year. That might turn out bad. But it's coming. The garden's coming. It's just if I can hold out for a couple more months, and I've got all my seed catalogs in. So as far as that's concerned, I've got something keeping me a little bit busy, and work has been keeping me just crazy busy lately. So haven't had too much of a chance to think about it, but I noticed it is it's kind of nagging at me. It's kind of getting to me a little bit. So
you homeschool your babies? How many kids do you have?
I wish that's something we could get away with. I would love to homeschool.
I don't think I have the capability to do that patience wise.
Yeah, that takes a lot. I mean, that really says a lot to be able to homeschool your
I mean,
kids.
I love
big
influencing my kids, and I love teaching. I love having a hand, and I help them do something and learn something. But honestly, I am not gonna lie. I need my space away, and they need their space from me. So how does that work out?
Sounds like groups, though, right? So I mean, I'm sure that you hang out with other homeschool parents and kids, and then do like group activities, and maybe somebody can take over for a little while and all that. It's got to be. I would think that's the way it has to be. But what a great way to. I think that's this day and age. That's the best way to go. If you can do it, do it. But the problem is the way everything's set up is it's so hard to live unless you've got a 2-income household. It's just so difficult to get by these days. It's insane. So whether that's done by design or just happenstance, I think everybody's got their opinion on that, and that's not really mine to share. But I think if you can get away with homeschooling your kids, that's a super, super noble thing to do. Really cool, definitely. So kudos to you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, family. Yeah, definitely have family nearby. I think that would be huge. That's one luxury we definitely don't have here. We have got no family here, besides friends.
That we made family.
Yeah.
And we're closer to them than we ever were our family anyway. So
yeah, it's kind of weird.
No harm, no foul, really.
Yeah, some really, really great people here. So, even though I bitch and moan about the winter here, it's definitely, we love it here in Milwaukee. I think this is the best move. This is the best move I've ever made in my life, and I don't know how you feel. You've been around too, so.
I've been around too.
Well, I mean,
that was mean.
It's not that. Damn it, I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. No, we've both kind of traveled.
Strangely enough, yeah, we've never stayed put anywhere.
Yeah, we've been Rolling Stones up until the last decade.
And it's been an awesome ride, let me tell you. I don't regret any of it. You learn a lot when you move around.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun learning experience. I've been all over this great country, at least, and a little bit of Canada. And
I've never left the country. No. I do want to go to Canada. That would be fun.
It's beautiful. Depends on where you go and what time of year.
Yeah, no kidding. We're not going to go now.
So, but yeah, I don't regret that either. Wow. I saw a lot of people, places, met a lot of people, done a lot of work all over the place. Got to know the little nuances of different parts of the country, and there's definitely some huge differences depending on where you're at. And so far, I think here in Milwaukee is probably one of my favorite places to be. Mm-hmm. It's not perfect, but besides the winter, that's pretty damn good. Yeah, we like it here, for sure. Takes both of us to make it on. 13 moons. What'd she say?
Mm-hmm.
Cheaper for me to stay home than
naked common garden.
Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah, staying home, and sometimes it is cheaper. It all depends on your situation, I guess. Everybody, everywhere's a little bit different. Everybody's circumstances are a little bit different. We could probably get away with it here on just my income, but we wouldn't be nearly as comfortable either. So, and we're really buckling down. We need to buy a house. I mean, this little apartment's not bad for now, but it's going to drive me crazy not to be able to go out in the backyard and have my garden. That's just going to drive me absolute crazy. So we got to buckle down and save a bunch of money, or as much money as we can. And Now, there's a couple little programs out there that could help us out, which we might take advantage of. But when it comes down to it, we're looking at needing around $10,000 just to comfortably get a house and move and not sweat it too bad. But of course, the more the merrier. If we can do better than that, that would be even better.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. But that'll come over the next year or so, and I'll cover a little bit of that as far as where we're at, and I really can't wait till we start actually buckling down and looking. Once we've got some cash in hand and we're pre-approved and we're out there just looking around. I got to wonder how much I'm going to butt heads with her as far as what I want versus what you want, and then what we need. It's going to be interesting, but it shouldn't be too bad. I just need a big sunny yard. The rest of the house, I don't care. It's up to you. Oh, and a little area in the basement would be cool too. A little shop. What are you looking for?
Kitchen.
That's my woman.
A nice big kitchen.
A nice big kitchen.
Where half my stuff doesn't have to be in the basement.
Yeah.
Because even at the old house, I had stuff down in the basement. My griddles.
See, now you're starting to get it. That's probably my biggest complaint about this place is it's just not. It's okay. It's like a hotel room. It's kind of neat, but once you stay there for a couple of weeks, you're like, yeah, okay.
No, I don't.
I'm done with this.
I love this little apartment. I really do. I really do.
I don't love it. It's okay, but I don't love it.
It's comfortable.
House hunting. Yeah, it is hard. When we first found out that we had to move out of the house that we were in, we were kind of panicked. I mean,
very panicked.
We were very panicked. So you can go back and watch the videos. You can see it in my eyes. I'm like, oh, shit. What are we going to do? So real quickly, we jumped out into the market just to see, maybe we should just buy a house real quick. And it quickly became apparent that, it's probably not. Even if we could, it's probably not a good idea. We were on such a short time schedule. We didn't want to jump into anything too soon. But we kind of got, there's definitely a huge wake-up call for us. And you got to feel for the market here in the area and what it's going to take, resources, time, what we're going to need. And so I think we got a much better handle on it. And even if it takes us a year to find the right place, I don't have any problems with that. I just want to make sure we don't have any regrets once we finally pull the trigger. Yeah, so house hunting is definitely difficult.
No, they did not.
Yeah, they didn't give us much time.
And we beat them. And it's kind of funny because I talked to the landlord. It was a married couple in the early 60s. And I talked to the husband after we had moved out. And he, in sincerity, told me, I really didn't think you guys would be out as soon as you were. Well, you gave us a time notice to get out by November. Do you think we're going to drag our feet and then become squatters and then not leave? I mean, we were on this. So we found this place by Craigslist, looking around the area. I didn't want to go far from work. I'm not a commuter. I will not commute. I don't do well in bad weather, and I want to be close to my kids' schools. So I had to find something close. This is a little bit further in a different direction than where we live, but it's not that far. It's maybe what?
It's not bad at all. It's just a few
quarter mile further from where we lived before, something like that, maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, it's still a very easy shot down the highway to get to where I have to go to work and for my kids' school and whatever. It's fine. The drive part, I was a little intimidated. You guys might think that I'm crazy, but I really do not like driving. I'm not a driver. I do not like it, period. I don't go far at all if I don't have to.
Yeah, that was a really tough move. It was, because we thought we were going to buy the house. We thought that was it. This was so I traded it just like it was my own. To me, that was my house. We just hadn't filled out the paperwork yet. That was a difficult move, for sure. Nate Gardner says, I feel you on that, OP. Hate gardening in an apartment, but something's better than nothing. Yeah, that's true. And behind you guys, there is my Yacon plants.
Should start a no driving club.
And
13 moons.
yeah, no kidding.
I'm not a driver. June like driver.
So I do have my house plants, and I've got my Yacon and all that stuff set up in here.
Sure.
And but it's still like I don't have enough room to do like major seed starting and all that stuff. I've got a nice light. Believe it or not, I won in a contest that I've got a nice LED grow light that I could set up somewhere. The only problem is I don't have anywhere to set it up, and the neighbors might not be too happy if I put it out in the hallway. So probably not a good idea. So I'm relegated to buying a lot of plants this year, which I'm not really looking forward to. And I'll probably start a few peppers and tomatoes, just some of the varieties that I have to have that I know I can't find anywhere else. So I'll start those indoors. But otherwise,
what do you need that on?
I'm going to be stuck buying whatever's available at the nurseries. 13 Moon says, I finally have raised beds built. Very cool. Very cool. Need to fill them out. I'm going to try some straw bale. Yeah, you know what? That's a really good way to go. You know, it was probably about 10 years ago, I built a bunch of raised bed boxes, and it quickly became apparent to me that filling them was the expensive part. That's where all the money was. And it ended up costing and these were small, like 4x4 boxes. And I figured it up. It cost me like $30-$40 just to fill each one of them. And I had a bunch. And then when I started straw bale gardening, I mean, yeah, you got to pay for each individual bale, and it depends on where you live and who you know. But the cool thing is once those bales break down for the season, they make a perfect amendment, or really a soil or a base to put in a raised bed or something like that. So yeah, that's a great way to go. So just straw bale garden, use all your old bales, put them into like a raised bed or a traditional style garden, and just do that over a few years. And before you know it, I mean, that stuff, my used straw bales grow fruits, vegetables, whatever you put in it, it grows just way better than even fresh bales. It's better than anything I've ever used. I grew a tomato plant in used bales that was so big, the trunk on it was just, I'm not kidding, the trunk on it was like this. And I've got some great big tomato cages that I made out of steel reinforcing mesh. This tomato plant got so big that it literally bent that cage in half. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen growth like that. I didn't know it was even possible. And I attribute that to using the used straw bale medium to grow that tomato, and it was just absolutely amazing. So definitely that's a good way to go. Yeah, CB knows he's got some outstanding straw bale garden setup. And it shows. I mean, it just works so well. It's incredible. The first time I tried it, I was just amazed. I couldn't believe how well it worked. But the most important thing is just to make sure you prep those bales properly. They just absolutely have to be seasoned, and there's a fairly specific guidelines as far as to get that done. There's several ways to do it, but you can go back, check out CB's prepping videos. You can check out mine. They're very similar, and they do the exact same thing. But make sure you don't skip that part of straw bale gardening. Otherwise, it's not going to work out very well for you. Excuse me. Now you know why my plants grow on trees. Yeah, it was
grow into trees.
Yeah, that tomato was absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it.
I think the most insane thing you grow is They're kohlrabi. Because we saw them at the store, right? And they're about this big. And they come in bunches of like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So they're like bandem. The stalks right here, and you get like 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Yours are like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I grow.
And they charge like $6 for those.
Right. No, I grow a variety of kohlrabi. It's a giant variety, and it's called Cossack. If you're interested, Kossak. And it's a giant variety of kohlrabi, and they get absolutely massive. I mean, huge kohlrabi.
Like bowling ball size.
Yeah, I mean, they're unbelievable. When you see them, you're like, oh my God, is that thing for real? And the cool thing
they're
about
fine. They don't get like unedible. You just gotta peel. The skin is about a lot thicker.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
So the skin's maybe a 1/4 inch thick.
Cut all that off.
It's still totally tender inside, so it doesn't get woody.
Very strange.
And you can eat the whole thing, and it's absolutely. I think. Excuse me. My heaviest kohlrabi was like 12 pounds. That was one kohlrabi. It was massive. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
How do you cook it? You can eat it fresh. You can shred it into a slaw, slice it and stir fry it. You can shred it and make a kraut out of it. So you can ferment it into a kraut, and it makes a very nice sour kraut with a little more of a crunchy texture to it. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. As far as the flavor, it's like a cross between like a turnip and a radish. But
it's mild.
That's really mild.
There's very, very little spice. When you think about a radish or a turnip, they're spicy and almost kind of acidic like. Kohlrabi is not like that.
Yeah, it
is not like that at all.
Like 13 moons. It is 10%. Related to a cabbage. It's actually, I believe it's a cross between a cabbage and broccoli. So essentially what you're growing is the stem. So the kohlrabi itself is actually the stem of the plant. And it just forms this big round fruit looking thing. But yeah, essentially it's just the stem, but it's really good actually. I don't know, maybe an acquired taste. I'm sure a lot of people are like, ugh.
It's okay.
That's not bad.
Especially on like, I mean, it's not like, I'm not like, ooh, yum, but I mean, it's good if you mix it in. Actually, one year I made a coleslaw, and I chopped it all by hand. I tell you, it took a minute, like an hour or better, because I didn't want to shred it, but I wanted it more chunky like, and it was very good. It makes some wonderful coleslaw. Very, very similar in taste to a green cabbage. Of course, the consistency is not going to be the same. Cabbage is leafy, and this would not be, but it was good. It was very good.
Yeah.
And Jose loves it just to snack on it.
Yeah.
Our neighbor's behind us. He would just take one and he just cut it and eat it.
Yeah, Jose the neighbor. Yeah, good stuff.
Or he says that he puts it on sandwiches, like on a ham and cheese sandwich, and just put a little thin slice of that on there too for crunch. Kind of like a lettuce substitute maybe or something. But
it's definitely cool. If it's something you never tried before, give it a try.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, and you might find that you really like it.
They grow like little aliens. They look like a little alien head, so it'll be like green.
Yeah, they are really kind of weird.
Green, and they'll have like some little sprouts with some leaves coming out of it. They're really strange,
very
like a light
looking.
green color. But they're
Yeah, we had a lot of people.
You like vegetables, I'm sure you'll like them just fine.
We had a lot of people visit the garden, and they're just like, what is that? And it kind of catches everybody's eye because it's just so weird looking.
It is a very strange vegetable. And we didn't even know what it was before we moved here, or I never had one anyway.
Yeah, I'd never grown it before.
So,
yeah, but really neat.
It is a northern like food, or maybe pallated food, because
it grows well up in this area.
Well, we didn't have them. Like I said, never even seen them at a grocery store down in Illinois before.
Right.
And they do sell them at the grocery stores because I work at one. They're pretty expensive. It's not a high sought after food though. So probably what little they do get in, they kind of mark it up a little bit.
Yeah. I think locally they're popular, but there's a lot of places where people don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're pushing 1 hour here at the Brew City Brew Sitting. I've been through 3 fat tires,
Yeah.
And the only problem is I haven't popped the seal yet, so that's coming. Actually, that's.
And I have to be at work at 6:00 in the morning, so it's now 8:30. I do have to go to bed soon.
So that's very much overdue. So with that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you everybody for stopping
Yeah.
by. We really appreciate it, and
Always fun.
it helps break up the monotony here that we're dealing with this long winter, and hopefully soon we'll start pumping out some regular content and get some good entertaining stuff back out there. I'm really looking forward to it. So with that, guys, have an awesome night, and until next time,
see you later.
we'll see you. Bye.